Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this week's episode of Maximum Octane. Joining me today is my amazing co-host, Jason Patel, and our special guest today, Lee Anderson. In Lee, you have seen him before in one of our most popular episodes over the years was Lee's story with his wife about his adoption journey. And just because he loves to make me cry, he's back with another story. But we're going to start out with something fun a little bit. But I just want to share with you all to take a good hard look at Jason and see this is what envy looks like and FOMO, because Jason is very sad that I have a bedazzled microphone. And so,
Is that standard issue for Maximum Octane? Because I did not get one.
it is. We can make a standard issue.
Right.
Would you? I will bedazzle your microphone if you would promise to use it. But it's
I can't
beautiful.
promise
Look
that.
at it.
I think
Look at the way the light hits it. It's just glorious. And it makes me happy when I'm recording. And so I'm sorry that you have FOMO, Jason, and you do not have one, but we'll see what we can do for
as long
that.
as it makes you happy, that's what matters, right?
Yeah, I'm going to need it. I want to warn everybody that if you do not have a box of tissues handy, you might want to have one. Lee and his family are incredible, and they share anything in their lives that anyone wants to know and that they think can help someone else on their journey. And so he's always very forthcoming and doesn't leave anything on the table. And so if you have a dry eye at the end of this, you don't have a heart, I guess. I don't know what else to say. So it is pretty difficult. And I think besides this is Suicide Prevention Month, we have the holidays coming up. And I believe the last time I checked stats that the holidays, especially these holidays this time of year we're coming up on, has the highest suicide rate throughout the year. I don't know if is that still correct, Lee?
yes. Especially when it gets darker outside. The longer it stays darker, it's pretty brutal on mental.
Don't they call
health.
it like sad, seasonal something,
Yeah,
depression?
seasonal depression.
Right.
Seasonal depression. Well, Lee is, before we get into the sad part, Lee, along with his father, they own and operate Integrity Auto Care in South Beloit and in Belvedere in Illinois. And they are longtime ATI family members and have gone through a lot of changes in their lives with us, and deaths and marriages and children and births and adoptions. And it's always wonderful to watch the families go full circle, see their growth and things that happen. Lee was pretty young when I started coaching him. And so I have to laugh because sometimes he still tries to pull the wool over on me after all these years. And I just have to stop and say, did you just meet me? Like, did we just meet that you think that I'm going to fall for this, that you didn't do your homework or whatever it is?
We've known each other for 12 years. We've known each other for 12
years. Is it 12
years
now?
Yeah.
Okay. When you first joined the program and joined the ATI family, it was right after the loss of your second brother. And there was a lot of fear, anxiety, different things. I remember with your dad saying, gosh, Kim, I'd say Lee has to do this, and he'd say, can you please tell him I'm afraid to say anything. I didn't, everything was so new and fresh. Nobody knew what to say or do. Do you want to share your story with us?
Well, it honestly starts when I was 21. So I had a rough, got out of college rough. First, my wife's best friend died in a car accident. Shortly after, died in a car accident. It happened that September, and then in a couple of years later, my brother in 2011, he committed suicide. He was 21 years old. I was 22, 23 at the time. And then me and my wife were about ready to get married. My wife's other best friend and her godson died in a car accident. And then my brother, Luke, shortly after that, 2012, he committed suicide right after my wedding. So I at least got the chance for my little brother to be in my wedding. My brother Jake was supposed to be my best man because we literally got married and me and my wife got married in 2013. It's made me who I am today, really, because all that death at the beginning of my life, I live in the present. I don't worry about the past as much. I worry on the big goals for the future, but I sit down and enjoy the presence, enjoy my family, enjoy my friends. I enjoy my employees that work for me, my customers, And then I just don't take it for granted. Like, I don't try to argue with anybody because life's short. You know, you don't know if you're going to be here the next day.
In addition to your personal lives, that this was absolutely devastating too. One of your brothers worked at the shop as well, right? So he was a part of your shop family. And so can you speak to that a little bit?
My brother Jake was supposed to be like one of the techs working into him to being shop foreman right before he passed away. My dad then, like, I worked at Walmart for about 2 years, Tire Lube Express. And then he comes right when my brother Luke, after he committed suicide, that's when I pulled the trigger and started working for my dad. To me, family's everything, and just getting to see my dad every day is, most people don't like working with family, but I'm the complete opposite. Like, I love talking to my dad, love seeing my dad every day. I've got to grow older with him. You know what I mean? Not many people can say, I was 21, 22 when I first started Integrity, and now I'm going on 30. I'm 38, I'm going to be 39 next year. So I put about 15 years in with my old man so far.
That's awesome.
He's a wonderful individual,
He
your
is.
dad, for sure. So can we talk a little bit about, and I know you don't mind me asking these questions because we've had them over the years. There's such a stigma that comes along with suicide, and it makes me crazy because the families are going through so much, and then people ask. I mean, I just can't believe they're like, well, why did they do it? Or, what happened? And it's like, if you knew what happened or you could have prevented it, obviously you would have. What are some of the things that you wish people didn't say or ask you?
So, like, when both my brothers passed, didn't talk to these people since I've been in high school, or like, there's people messaging me, hey, how are you? What's going on? What happened? Like, they're sincere people. Don't get me wrong, but it's just the fact, like, any death, any like unforeseen death, people ask questions that, they don't let you grieve the way you're supposed to. It's not like, it needs to be said, like, hey, yeah, he committed suicide. It's just the time that people ask. Like, you don't ask right when it happened and try to be nosy. That's the main thing. Is with any death, you shouldn't be nosy. You should give your grievances and say, hey, do you need anything?
I think that's a good point. I mean, one thing that I struggle with, and I haven't been around a lot of death, but I mean, there have been deaths, friends, family, stuff like that. And there's really, like, you think sorry for your loss, right? Like, I mean, that's, what can I help with, or what can I do for you, or anything like that. But it just feels like, from my perspective, if I'm asking someone that or saying that to them, I want to help, right? Do whatever I can, talk to them, whatever. But nothing else comes out. Like, I don't think sorry for your loss is helpful. I mean, that's not like portraying any emotion or anything like that. I mean, what are your thoughts on if someone's just coming up to you like, just sorry for your loss? I mean, what can they say? I mean, if there is anything that they can say to kind of portray how that they want to help you or whatnot.
Just be genuine. Like, I'm a very genuine person. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I have no filter. I've had to learn how to, like, count to 5. But just come up and say, hey, it's okay to hug someone. You know what I mean? I know nowadays, people look at you weird, but I'm a hugger, a handshaker. Like, it's okay to come up to someone and be like, hey, I'm sorry for your loss. Give them a hug, hold them. A lot of people don't do that anymore. Like, I try to teach my son Asher to say hello to everybody and give them high fives, booms, hugs if they want it. Like, no one does that anymore.
So it's more about the time, right? And just being present.
Being time and being present. Like, it's okay to cry with them. It's okay to cry. I've been men, they get made fun of for crying, and it's okay to be emotional and cry as a man. Just cry with that person. Like, I lost a brother. Like, my dad, he lost a son. So it's pretty sad, and I cried with him. I couldn't even imagine if I lost my son Asher. A brother, yeah, he's still my brother. He was my best friend. Both of them were my best friends. I'm just saying, it's okay to cry, come up to someone, give them a hug, show emotion, not just, hey, sorry for your loss.
One of our coaches, actually, Rick Johnson, had lost his son years ago. He had a heart condition, and Very, very sad story. He went to school, left for school, and never came home and lives life to the fullest every day in honor of his son. But he said one of the hardest things that happened is so many people in his life just started ignoring him and his wife because they didn't know what to say. And because they didn't know what to say, they stepped back and they did. And so people they thought that would be there for them and a support system and their friends kind of ignored them. And he doesn't have any ill will towards them or anything because he knows why, but they don't know what to say. And people are afraid to, I think, bring up the names of people that have passed away. So how does that make you feel, Lee? Are you comfortable when somebody asks about your brothers, or how can you speak about that a little bit?
I'm very comfortable with someone comes and talks about my brothers. Their memory lives on through me, through my son. My son, I actually named after my oldest brother, Jake, that committed suicide. Spitting image, same personality. You can ask him. But but speaking of like losing contact with people, and that's the thing. Like when someone dies close to you, everyone comes together. You know, people you haven't talked to in a long time, but then they fade away because they don't keep in contact. Like that's hard. I really go close with the family of Tia was her name, and we were really good. We hung out for a year or two, and then we just drifted apart. So that's a sad thing.
Right.
Is that somebody in your brother's life?
No. So
Just a family friend, and then they
that
drifted.
and my sister-in-law, we
Okay.
drifted apart. This life goes on, pretty much. That's what it is. Life goes on, and I hate to say it, but sometimes, my brothers are forgotten.
One thing I've heard is like, when someone dies, they're not fully dead until the last time someone remembers them, right? So once the last time they're mentioned, and that's, like you said, forgotten, that's truly when they're gone.
It's like history, no one's ever going to forget about Abraham Lincoln because he's in the history books. So if I keep my brothers' names, like I have my brothers tattooed on my body, just to look down and say, hey, I remember my brothers. Songs come up about my brothers all the time. So like my brother Luke, have you ever seen The Rain by CCR? He really liked that song, and he put it in like on his computer for us to listen to after he passed. Like he had it planned out. And then Gone Away by The Offspring, that really hit steer to me because that reminds me of that's all I listened to when my brother Jake passed.
Were both of your brothers part of like the shop, or just one?
Just one. My brother Jake actually went to the Marines, and then got honorably discharged, and then after that went to go work for my dad for a little bit, and then was doing his own thing for a little bit before he passed away.
So Lee, I know when things are happening and people are going through the struggles that your brothers did that nobody was aware of and didn't know what was happening in their head. I know that both you and your dad and your family started doing a lot of research because what did we miss? How could we have stopped that? And we all know today there's nothing we can do, right, to stop that, or there's not. But so what are some of the things that you learned about suicide in general that you could share with the general public?
There's hotlines, text lines, like if you're feeling suicidal, talk to somebody. It doesn't even have to be hotlines or suicide line. Call up a friend. Like I always tell everybody, like if I see someone down and I talk to them, hey, if you need anybody, I'm here. Call me, text me. I'll come over if you want. And that's what it was. Like you get inside your head, and some people, get too inside their head. My brother Luke was the smartest man you would ever know. He was doing very, very big math equations at first grade. Beat me at chess in second grade. But he was always inside his head. And that's what it is. You're inside your head. It's okay. Like I talk about emotion, and like, man, it's okay to cry and come out to talk to people. Even women come out to talk to people. Like if you're inside your head, just talk to somebody. That's all it is. Like I wish I had that chance to talk to my brother Jake or my brother Luke. Hey, it's okay. You're fighting your inner demons. Let's go talk to a therapist. Like, I talk to therapists all the time. I fell into really bad depression after my brother Jake passed away. I had to be, and it's okay to be on meds too. You know what I mean? I don't like it anymore just because it makes me feel like a zombie. So I got off of it. But it's okay to have to take medication for mental illness. There's a stigmatism from dating back in like the 60s, 70s. There's a stigmatism on mental health, but it's getting better nowadays. It's okay to have OCD, anxiety, depression. So I just outreach. There's outreach programs too. Like, if you need help, there's groups that you can go to.
I really want to kind of tie this back into the automotive industry real quick as well, because there's a couple of stats here, right? So a 2021 study from the CDC, it has found like the suicide rate for male automotive service technicians and mechanics was around 80.6 per 100,000 people. And comparing that to like all other industries and male workers in general, it's 32 for everything else, 32 for every 100,000. But for the automotive industry, it's 80.6. So almost over double, 2.5 times almost.
Wow, I didn't realize about that. I knew it was pretty high for dentists, but I don't know how I didn't know about the automotive.
It's pretty stressful in automotive. So
Right.
I'd say that.
Little being focused too on little things and having to pay a lot of attention to detail. One of the things I think that always surprises me with people that are resistant to reaching out for help is, and using tools, whether it's medicine, whether it's a therapist, whether it's a tool to help you do what you need to do. We use tools all day long at shops. We buy the latest equipment. We get all of the newest and again, latest to greatest things, and we have a tool for every job. And then there's tools at our disposal to help us as a person. And we're like, oh no, we can't use a tool. We can't use a crutch. But we don't look at any other tool that we use to repair our home, our vehicle, or anything else as a crutch. But tools to help ourselves and our well-being, we say, oh no, that's a crutch. Don't do that. That's a sign of weakness. Why do you think that is?
Pride.
Pride.
Totally. And it's also like stigma, right, from the people around you.
And stigmatism.
Right.
Like, we've told my brother Jake to seek help, like, with it before it happened. You know what I mean? It's a pride thing. He didn't want to go. And that's all it comes down to. Like I said, there's a stigmatism against men showing emotion. Hey, you're a wuss if you cry. I cry. I probably should. I wear my heart on my sleeve. So I've learned that it's okay to cry. It's okay to have feelings, and you should show it.
I see it from my peers. I see it from people that are older than me, people that are younger than me, where they let something that's happened to them just define them, right? As opposed to kind of letting that out and using that to help others, which it seems like you have done quite a bit as far as using all the things that you have experienced and using that to help guide you in the way that you're living life moving forward, right? So, and I think this is what we need more of. We need more people that are sharing their stories and kind of getting rid of that stigma that we're talking about.
Speaking about not letting things define you, I mean, Lee just shared only a few of the heartaches and hardships he's had. If you listen to our podcast about what he went through with his son, having his son, and the adoption process, and medical treatments, and just the journey. And one of the things that I just really want to highlight here is the beauty and the strength and the resilience in Lee and his family, because they keep going. They look for the good in everybody. Sometimes it drives me crazy with employees that maybe should be gone and they don't, because they want to give everybody chances. They still, with everything that's happened to them, they see the good in everyone. They want to help everyone. They want to, and I know people had similar situations, not the magnitude that Lee's family had, but it hardens them and shuts them off and makes them almost non-feeling. And Lee just is a testament to the human spirit and what's possible. And when you keep looking for the positives and for solutions and what's good, it's just what an amazing gift and just an amazing human. They all are. Leon as well. Just an incredible family. And I was, a matter of fact, it was Karen McLean at our office. Jason, her niece had passed, and she was very close with her, and she was devastated. And I remember her sharing conversation she had with her sister, and somebody had said, like, it's been this amount of time, when are you going to get over it? And Karen said, we'll never be over it. We'll get through it. We'll get through it, but we'll never get over it. And I think that's such a huge distinction of, you can't just make believe these things didn't happen. You can't, they're in the fabric of who you are. They're part of your dynamic, but you do eventually get through it, but you don't get over it. And it's something that's with you and part of you, and how you go forward is not defined by what other people did or chose to do, right?
And one thing I do want to also ask about this, right? I mean, just knowing what you guys have went through, how has that shaped how you guys handle? I mean, let's face it, in the business, we have to have structure, right? There has to be kind of disciplinary structure as well. And like I discussed before, I mean, some of the stats, they don't lie as far as the automotive industry, right? With just the overall, how difficult it can be, how frustrating it can be. So how have you guys continue to structure your business as far as when it comes to disciplining and just dealing with the people? What have you done differently?
I have an open door policy. So if anyone needs to come into me and talk with me, I tell them I have an open door policy. I sit down and talk to everybody once in a while. I'm very open. If people will come up to me and just say, hey, I'm going through this. And both of my shops, it's pretty open, and we talk about everything in the open public. There's probably not one thing that someone else doesn't know at the shop, because we're pretty open with everything. Like I said, I'm an open book. I get in trouble for it sometimes. I have to count to 5. I'm pretty open, and everyone knows that I'm open. So everyone tells us stories, crazy stories, and if they need something, I would give anyone that I know my shirt off my back. That's just the person I am. I got an ear to listen to. I can listen. I have probably a lot of advice about death that I shouldn't have. I've lost a lot of people in my life in a short time. Young death at that, and that's what's really hard.
Now, do you think that changes the way that you are disciplining or holding people accountable in the shop?
I don't like to yell, and like yelling, like they tell you leadership style, yelling's in the past. So like I converse, like, hey, why did you think that was okay? I like to ask positioning questions, then they get buy-in from it. So like I don't have to get to that point of discipline. If someone does something really stupid, yes. Hey, why did you think that was okay? Or why did you do it that way? And then I learn from it, they learn from it, and failure is how you learn. And I don't like yelling. It's just treat others like you want to be treated, and that's how I live my life. Mental health is there. Like, you don't know if someone's going through some stuff. I converse with them and say, bring that out of them, or if they don't want to, they don't want to. But at least I know I'm pretty good at reading people now. I know if someone's going through something at one of my stores.
I think that's great that you mentioned that, right? Because one of the things that, like right now, is one of the big things, maybe not even right now, maybe for the last couple of decades now, the whole gentle parenting thing, right? There's a lot of people that are completely like, this is why everything is the way it is now, is because the kids were not spanked or whatever, right? It's all the gentle parenting, participation trophies, and all of this, right? Now, there's extremes to everything. And I think the one thing that you mentioned that I really resonate with is you're talking out the issues, you're trying to get the why behind it, and something that both parties can learn from, whether you're in charge or whether you're the person that did something that went wrong. I think that's something that it doesn't matter who you are, what industry you're in, doesn't matter how old you are, something that you could take away from that is trying to understand the why and trying to get some growth for both parties.
Yes. Yeah. That's how you grow. I've had almost 15 years experience next August in automotive, and I know a lot because I asked that why question. Why? And that's what I try to teach my son. You know, why? Why are you being like that? So, and FAFO parenting, that's the new thing. That's what I do.
Right. Don't touch the stove, but if you want to, you're gonna find out.
Yep.
And then you gotta hope you don't have one like mine that would go, "What? It's hot," and then stick his hand right on there just to show
Well,
me he
he'll
didn't
know.
care. So
That's
oh,
my
he did. Yeah.
that's my son.
He's a ranger now, so I wonder if there's anything. When I look back, I should have seen all the signs.
Oh, he's gonna be a ranger.
Right.
Yeah, I should have seen the signs. Well, Lee, I just thank you. I can't thank you enough for sharing your story. And doesn't matter how many times I hear it or speak with you about it, it always, as you could tell, fills my eyes. And sometimes you leave me just blubbering, and other times I can kind of hold back the dam for a little bit. So it just again, I want to leave this on the message that life goes on, and regardless of what happens to you, and no one can imagine what it's like to be in your shoes, and just be respectful of people when there's any kind of a death. You don't need the details and the how did it happen and the what time and what did they say before, any of those things. Be respectful, be there for people, be genuine, just give them a hug. There aren't any words that are going to make anybody feel better when things like that happen, but just knowing that you're there and going to be there, and not just there for a few days for because it makes you feel good. I think there's a lot of that happens, and just don't let it, I don't want to say change who you are. It's going to change who you are, but don't let it jade you. Life is wonderful. It's a gift. Every day is a gift. Every minute's a gift. Every sunset, everything, all of the corny things you hear, and you have to embrace it and just have to move forward. Lee, anything you want to leave our listeners with?
Live life to the fullest. Like Rick Johnson, live life to the fullest. Like when my brothers passed, I travel all the time. I probably travel more than I am at home sometimes. Even if it's like, hey, I'm gonna go down the country road to go see nature with my son. Life is beautiful no matter what. Like if you're going through a hard time, life is beautiful. You can't get down on yourself. You can't get down in the gutters, and like depression's real, anxiety's real. It's all real. If you need help, call somebody. It doesn't have to be a hotline. It doesn't have to be a therapist. Call your best friend. If I'm ever feeling down, I call my best friend or I call my wife. We talk about it. Just talk about it. Suicide is selfish. It is. You leave my brothers, they're not, you don't think in the moment, they're not selfish in the moment, but they left how many people? At least my brothers didn't have any kids or anything. They were young. So, but it makes you a better person in the long run. You look back on your life and say, you've had a good life. You know, I've had a good life so far. So I'm hoping to live another 40 years, 50 years plus. With all technology, maybe I'll live to 110.
Hey, we're probably going to be just outliving everybody at this
Oh, yeah.
point.
So just live life to the fullest is all I gotta say. And then wear your heart on your sleeve. If you're feeling down, let somebody know. Don't be that mean person. If you're having a rough day, talk to somebody. You don't have to bring it to work. You know, leave it at the door. Have an open door policy. Just talk to somebody. And it's okay to
Use
cry.
your tools.
Use your tools. And it's okay to cry. I had to come home because I was like, I don't want to cry in public and be like, hey, why is he crying? I'd rather just see hopefully 1 million followers see me cry. So
Well, thank you for sharing. Jason, close us out.
Well, one thing I really want to say, I mean, I've had about 30 years on this planet now, and almost 30. And one thing that I've learned is life comes in seasons, right? There's always going to be a time where things are rough, but that season's going to change at some point. So don't let the things that happen to you define you. You got to learn from it. You got to grow from it. And you're here for a reason. So make sure you live life to the fullest, like Lee said, and try to make a difference in someone else's life.
amen.
Perfect. Well, thank you, everybody. Just take these words with you. Remember, people are going through things. Have some compassion. Have some empathy. Try to be there for somebody, and Just stay safe and make good choices. And we'll be back next week or 2 weeks. 2 weeks, right?
2 weeks.
We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you so much,
Bye-bye,
Lee.
everybody.
Thank you.